Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving into a sensitive but important topic, the signs that your partner might be cheating. These are the subtle behaviors that often go unnoticed, but can reveal a lot about what's really going on. If you've ever had that gut feeling something's off, stay tuned because we're breaking down 16 surprising signs that could indicate infidelity. One of the first signs to look out for is a reluctance to make any significant commitments together, like buying a house or a car. Licensed family therapist David Clow explains that these commitments indicate long-term plans and intentions. If your partner suddenly hesitates to make such purchases, it could be a red flag, especially if they were more willing in the past. This reluctance might stem from an unwillingness to tie themselves down financially or emotionally, hinting at something deeper. Cheaters often engage in sins of omission. This means they might leave out details about where they were or who they were with, says psychologist Ramani Durvasula. If your partner forgets to mention that night out with friends or fails to tell you about certain social events, it could be because they're hiding something. Occasional forgetfulness is normal, but if it becomes a pattern, it might be time to ask more questions. Some people are naturally attached to their phones, but if this is a new behavior, it could be cause for concern. Psychologist Ramani Durvasula notes that someone hiding something might feel the need to keep their phone close at all times, even when they're in the bathroom. They could be worried about messages or calls from someone else, and this sudden shift in behavior can be a warning sign. Constant texting. A sudden increase in texting or phone activity, especially if your partner is being secretive about it, can be another indicator. Licensed therapist David Clow mentions that we are wired to notice inconsistencies in behavior. If your partner's phone habits change drastically, it might be worth paying attention to. They could be texting someone new, and their reaction when you ask about it can be very telling. Rocking back and forth during conversations. Body language can say a lot more than words. Lillian Glass, a body language expert, suggests that if your partner suddenly starts rocking back and forth during conversations, it could indicate nervousness or discomfort. This behavior might be an unconscious reaction to the guilt or stress of hiding something from you. Slouching or poor posture. Similarly, if your partner's usual good posture has suddenly turned into slouching, it might signal something's off. Lillian Glass points out that hunching over can be a sign of shame or a defensive posture when someone feels guilty. If this change in body language is noticeable, it's worth considering why it might be happening. Receiving unexpected gifts. Are you suddenly receiving more gifts than usual? This could be a tactic to cover up guilt. Cheaters might shower their partners with gifts to distract from their actions or to make themselves feel less guilty, explains psychologist Ramani Durvasula. While gifts might seem nice, they could be masking something else. A new focus on appearance. If your partner has suddenly started paying more attention to their looks, it could be a sign they're trying to impress someone new. This could mean new clothes, a different hairstyle, or a renewed interest in fitness. While everyone goes through phases of wanting to improve themselves, if this behavior seems out of character, it might be worth a closer look. A change in underwear choices. This one might seem a bit personal, but it's a telling sign. Matchmaker Susan Trombetti notes that if your partner suddenly changes their underwear style to something more alluring, it could be a red flag. We all have our preferred comfort zones, and a sudden switch, especially if it's a more attractive style, might indicate they're trying to impress someone else. New tricks in bed. Has your partner suddenly introduced new moves in the bedroom? This could be a result of wanting to spice things up, but it can also be a sign that they've learned these tricks elsewhere. Susan Trombetti suggests that any significant change in sexual behavior or frequency could be a clue. It's always good to have an open conversation if you notice changes. Over-explaining or oversharing. If you ask a simple question and get an overly detailed response, this might be a sign. Ramani Durvasula explains that people who are hiding something tend to overcompensate by giving too much information. They create elaborate stories to cover their tracks, hoping to avoid suspicion. If your partner's stories start getting longer and more detailed, it could be time to probe deeper. Avoiding details altogether. On the flip side, if your partner stops sharing details about their day, it might also be a sign of infidelity. When someone is cheating, the most exciting parts of their day might involve the person they're seeing. If you notice your partner becoming more closed off or vague about their daily activities, it could mean they're hiding something. Excessive use of social media. Is your partner suddenly more active on social media? Pay attention to who they're interacting with. If they're frequently liking or commenting on posts from people you don't know, it might be worth asking about. Knowing who your partner is engaging with online can help build a sense of security in your relationship, says therapist David Clow. 14. Developing new interests or hobbies. Sudden changes in taste, whether it's music, hobbies, or activities, can be another red flag. Susan Trombetti points out that if your partner suddenly develops an interest in something they never liked before, they might be trying to impress someone new. People often adopt the likes and dislikes of those they are infatuated with, so a drastic change can be telling. 15. Increased ATM withdrawals. Keep an eye on your partner's financial habits. If they're withdrawing more cash than usual, it could be a way to hide spending on someone else. Credit cards leave a trail, but cash is harder to trace. Psychologist Ramani Durvasula notes that if your partner suddenly switches to using cash more often, it's worth questioning why. 16. Trusting your gut feeling. Finally, trust your instincts. If you have a strong feeling that something is off, it's often because you're picking up on subtle cues. Susan Trombetti reminds us that this isn't about paranoia, but about paying attention to changes in behavior. If your gut is telling you something is wrong, don't ignore it. It's better to address your concerns openly than to let them fester. Remember, there could always be a simple explanation for a change in your partner's behavior that has nothing to do with cheating. But if these signs are familiar and consistent, it's important to have an honest conversation. Relationships thrive on trust and transparency, and you deserve to feel secure and valued in yours. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights and tips on relationships, personal growth, and more. See you in the next video.